Hello everyone, welcome once again to the next episode on thinking through issues in Ghana and Africa. As promised earlier, today we're going to talk about the current issue in one of our universities, which is the Kwame University of Science and Technology, KNUST. And on the station today we have Sethlina and Charles Prempeh, all PhD students at the University of Cambridge. Welcome, Prempeh.
Thank you for always having me.
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, it's always great to be on your program.
Thank you.
Talk about national issues.
I think this is very interesting because I have the perfect audience listening to us.
Right.
Because I saw from the previous edition that most of them are people who are schooled in Ghana.
Oh, which is good.
Yeah, so they know about what is going on.
Yeah,
So we don't,
yeah.
And another good thing is that I have Sethlina here, who is
Yes,
of the
yeah.
university, and then we have Charles Prempeh, who is a custodian.
I keep saying, when you say I'm a custodian, it's an understatement. I am a born custodian.
Right.
Yes, I was born with a red color, so...
Perfect.
Yeah, which is a symbol of life.
And I've been an active member in UCC Parliament, right?
Of course. I was part of UCC politics. In my department, I was the first elected vice president. That's African Studies department. And in Casford, I was a morale boy.
Oh, right.
We're not going to sing.
I know.
So we have to do this actually. We need to sing.
Yes, I'm morale.
To know how it goes. Yeah. I know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm also going to blend with some melody.
I know, right? It's actually good when you have some harmony, morale harmony.
Yeah.
I remember there was this guy who used to sing bass, he has the bass.
Yeah, and then
it's a touch.
Oh, you can imagine,
Okay, anyway, so let's go quickly to the issue. So
yes.
The issue at KNUST on 22nd of October this year, some students embarked on a peaceful demonstration.
Okay.
And it ended up in something we didn't really want to happen. There was a chaos, which has led to the school being suspended, some UTAG members going on strike, and all that. So we're just going to go into this real quick. In the next 15 minutes, I think we'll get to the bottom of this. Right. So briefly, Sethlina, would like to tell us a little bit about what went on, like what exactly is going on?
Okay. I for sure we are not in the country, so we might not be able to give a very vivid situation about what is actually going on campus.
Right.
But then following social media, and on Facebook and other social media handles, it's all started as the single-sex halls were converted into mixed halls, and students wanted their grievances to be heard by authority, and authority also thinks that, well, this is what I want to do, and well, this is what I think is going to help the university community, and students decided to go on a peaceful demonstration. But then prior to that, there have been stories about brutalization, about students being molested, which is quite unfortunate.
By who are molesting these
and by so-called, there's this security service on campus, which is known as the Adakwa police. Yes.
I think named after one of the VCs.
Yes, named after one of the VCs.
So the VC was called
Adakwa. Yes. So I think during his time, so that was how it all started, and during the demonstration they were being molested by these security personnel, and it turned out to be something quite unfortunate.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Right.
So
right.
These security personnel are supposed to protect the students.
Yes, exactly.
And they
turned against
turned against the students.
Yeah.
And these, I think, angered the students, and they decided to
do what they did.
Yeah. Which to me is quite unfortunate and is condemnable, and it wasn't supposed to
be so. I mean,
to have gotten to that level. Yeah.
Okay, but Prempeh, so briefly, what do you think about this whole issue?
So I would like to talk about two main things, right? I'll talk about violence, and I've talked about student political activism. So in the case of student political activism, I will look at it from, I'll give a bit of historicization, so that we'll have a clear image of what has been the nuancing of student politics in Ghana, right? Because I've been following the debate in Ghana, and most people are saying that students are no more active, students are no more doing the right politics and things like that. So let me begin with violence. First and foremost, I do not, in principle, support violence. I don't. Violence is nothing that I support. And I think sometimes when violence occurs, we suffer destruction in human terms and in material terms, right? And sometimes it can lead to retrogression. So you are making progress and then there's retrogression as a result of conflict or violence. But I also think that conflict and violence could be instrumentalized to actually bring about order and stability, right? So here, Aristotle once said that there is virtue in the midst of vices. Okay, so when there's violence, we all want to know why, what happened. So it's the why that leads to the how. So if we know why the violence, then we'll be able to explore the how of reversing or avoiding the violence.
Okay.
So from this perspective, I would say that I don't think the violence just emerged from the atmosphere, right, or from the sky. Something precipitated it. Okay? And so I would be interested in looking at the conditions that breed violence. So instead of seeing violence as something we need to tackle, let's look at the root. Because violence is the fruit of the root. Right? So what's the root cause of violence? So in other words, what conditions bred violence in KNUST?
Okay.
Once we're able to understand that, then I think we'll be able to solve it or prevent it from recurring.
Okay. So
yes.
I was listening to an interview, right,
Okay.
by one of these journalists in Ghana, and they got one student to their into the station. And
Yes.
the student was saying that the whole violence came as a result of, like Sethlina was saying, the brutalism on the students,
right,
by the security.
Yes.
We or some people also think that it's all emanating from the fact that they changed some of the single-sex halls to mixed halls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys? Sethlina, I'll start with you. Do you think this is really true?
I think, well, this is the actual cause, as you heard. I think the lady is Afiba also. Yeah. As she rightly said, this was what actually caused the whole problem. But then in any case,
so she said the brutality.
Yes.
Caused the
In
whole
any case,
issue.
the conversion of the single-sex, halls into the mixed halls per se, just as the VC whatever said that it was based on increasing the female population on campus and also motivating students, the females, to take up the study of science. In any case, KNUST runs on this in-out policy on campus on accommodation.
Yeah.
So about 1/3 of students live outside campus.
Okay.
Which is also a problem to students.
Okay.
So that is to say that even the accommodation services on campus are not enough.
Okay.
So what are we supposed to do?
Right.
Rather than conversion of the single-sex halls into mixed halls, to me I think it's petty.
Okay.
Because there are so many issues that we have to tackle. We have to solve issues of accommodation. See, students are attacked because they live not on campus, they live in private hostels. People are robbed. Some females, when I was on campus, were raped. Security was an issue.
Okay.
Accommodation is an issue on campus, and I think these problems need rather to be given attention,
right,
and not pettiness, if I may put it that way.
Yeah, okay, so this is my intervention. Okay, so first and foremost, I always say that when there's conflict, you do what is called post-conflict analysis, right? Now, post-conflict analysis, you sit behind after there's conflict to do a critical analysis of what might have happened, what precipitated the conflict. Okay, so I think that when you are analyzing conflict, you look at remote causes and immediate causes. So remote causes would be something that might have happened, let's say 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago, right? And then the immediate is what triggers the anger that has been building up for the past 20 years.
Exactly.
Okay, so the issues of campus security, issues of students, feeling that they are marginalized, right, are things that have been there for a very long time.
Yeah.
So there's always something to trigger, right, to
Anger.
give to foment or to energize these challenges, to
ignite the whole
explode,
thing.
right? Now in the case of KNUST, it was partly the case of the attempt to convert the halls into mixed halls.
Is there an attempt or it was done?
No, of course, that was the attempt. So it was the attempt.
So it started with the attempt.
So first of all, it was announced.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an attempt.
Okay.
And then students were trying to bargain that look, please.
I think that was where the problem came from.
Yes.
That there was no dialogue.
Yes, there wasn't.
In any case.
Yes.
But okay, so I think Prempeh knows much about this.
Yes.
That there was a dialogue
Yes.
that went on
No,
between the students.
so what happened was that when the VC, right, Professor Obidanso,
Okay.
announced that he was going to convert Katanga University Hall and then Continental Hall, Unity, Conti, into mixed halls, there were reactions, right? Students were like, please don't do that. The professor, no, I'm going ahead to do it. The alumni got themselves involved. No, we will do it anyway. Then they went to court to place an injunction on the university from doing the conversion. Court ruled against the injunction, but not the case. So there's a substantive case in court which has not been solved yet.
Right.
Right, now it's pending. What the court ruled against was the injunction that the students were seeking to be placed on attempt to have the halls converted.
Oh, I see.
Now the second one, I'm told they went to Otumfuo, right, His Majesty, right, to solicit his intervention. Again, that didn't work. So the university went ahead and converted the halls. Now I'm told when His Excellency Akufo-Addo went to the US, past students of the two halls met him and pleaded with him, right, to intervene. Again, it didn't work. We are told that His Excellency might have told the VC or the investment authorities to, proceed cautiously. This could be it could get meddled up in politics, so that politicians would want to be careful how they get themselves involved. But all these points of entry to bring about dialogue failed. So the university went ahead and did a conversion. Okay, so already the student had exhausted, of course, considering the fact that there was a legal case pending, to have the conversion reversed, but it didn't work. And the result to go on a peaceful protest. And that was where the thing started. So I would say that there are all these issues of insecurity and all that, but the attempt to convert and later the conversion of the halls, which was actualized, was what actually triggered the violence on campus.
Okay, so it's more like a cumulative effect.
It was accumulating.
All these things.
Yeah,
Okay,
so there's something we call domino effect, right? This was a theory that was developed in the 1950s and 80s when communism was high.
Right.
So the assumption was that if you have neighboring countries, if one country became a communist state, there will be a rippling effect. Other countries related to that country will also become communist nations. Yeah. So that's actually what happened. So we've got a domino effect.
Okay.
No, some are also of the view that it's actually from the clashes that usually occur between the Katangis and then the Kunti.
The 2 mil.
Obviously, okay. So
if that is the case,
yes.
why do you even make the female hall mix as well?
Exactly.
If it is
so the purpose. Now let me tell you, CASFORD and ATL had many times of clashes. Okay, but I think that there are ways of addressing those challenges. Okay, so you can resolve those challenges.
But I'm not going to cut you short.
Yeah.
Let me just add this so you can address all together.
Yes.
So, what we understand is the reason for changing this single sex hall to mixed hall is to increase female intake, right?
Yes.
To increase female in STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So, what do you think? Do you think is the right thing to do? If you are doing that, why do you change the male hall and the female hall? If you want more females,
I think that was a charade, right? That was a charade or a camouflage to do something different. So obviously the university wanted to convert these two halls. So how do we go about it? How do we rationalize it? Well, how do we justify it?
Yeah.
So that it to be appealing to people.
I think so.
Also, women want to go to school. Why don't we say that we want to increase female intake? Now, granted, that was the case. Why was African Hall made? Because that's a female hall.
Yeah, it means the best thing to do
because,
in that case would be to actually take the male hall and leave the female hall.
Exactly.
So because one more female.
Yes. In any case, what could have been done, and I keep saying this, is to, because by the time the announcement was made, alumni was there. The alumni of the two halls were very vulnerable, so they went to the university, and the vice chancellor was saying that they had contributed nothing to the university. Well, that may be true. Right? Granted, that is true. Now, this is a time to bring them on board. Because elsewhere in the world, most universities in the so-called developed countries are built by alumni.
Yeah.
They contribute. In Wolfson, when I was matriculated, I was told, look, you're a lifelong member of this college. So whatever affects the college, I'm also part of it. Right? So let me suggest a solution. So what could have been done was to replicate what Legon did. Okay? Where you involve private organization or individuals to contribute to providing accommodation, because there's also accommodation deficit on campus. Okay, so that could have been done. So the university could have said that, look, the alumni, you want to maintain your so-called tradition. So what we'll do is that contribute to providing new accommodation for the university. So these people, I'm very sure, would have mobilized and galvanized themselves, mobilized some resources or pool resources to support the university to get new accommodation. So what you do is that they build I know it's a long-term project, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
It's doable.
And honestly, it can be made short.
Exactly, it's doable.
Actually, yeah.
So it's about
people, if you get
and I think more people will be willing
to do it.
to come on board. Yeah.
No, if you are from Mill Hall,
yes.
one thing I know is that we always have some allegiance.
Yes, to the hall.
To the hall.
Exactly. I think, regardless of that, it's still a business.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And that is where the university can, generate more funds for the university and its community.
Yeah, so I keep saying that I'm a custodian, right? I have plans that if God establishes me someday, I'm going to pull custodians together, and then we invest in the hall.
Exactly.
Right, to build an S for Casford, and we want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think
one thing I'm going to do on this show next time is to talk about these single-sex halls.
Okay.
And we'll go deep into it and the activities they do.
Right.
And see how it benefits students.
Right. So would you permit me just 1 minute to talk about politics, student political activism?
Just 1 minute.
Very
please do that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you look at when University of Ghana was built, right, 1948, right, all the way to this time, we've had different political trajectories. Right, different political epochs in Ghana's political history. So if you look at most people refer to the time of Achampong, the time of Rawlins. That is true because these were military regimes. Okay, so during Achampong's regime, students were very active because we didn't have strong parliament. So the student wing of Ghana's political structure was very strong. During Rawlins's regime, again it was a military regime. So students were very actively involved. Now, but since the Fourth Republic, or since the coming into force of the 1992 Constitution, Ghana's politics has evolved and developed. So there's a vibrant opposition party, there's a vibrant parliament, and all the organs of government are in good shape. Yeah. Of course, they might not have reached perfection. I don't think any political regime will get that level of perfection, but at least they are working very well.
Right.
So what it means is that the place students would have fitted in is almost kind of, numbed, right? Let me use that expression. But this is not to say that students still cannot play a role. Student can, right? And this is why I think there's a need for intervention. So instead of, and I keep saying that instead of organizing so-called socialization for students, we should have leadership training for students.
Exactly.
Okay, so
to empower them and to give them more capacity.
Yeah, I think
Prempeh is making more sense. But we are very unfortunate that our time is up. We have to end here. But next time we're going to talk about the striking issue.
Right.
The lecturers are on strike, which is affecting the students so badly.
Yes.
So if you are listening to us, please follow us, and then we will come back with the episode on the striking issue in Ghana. And I believe I will have Prempeh, and hopefully I'll have Sethlina too. And until then, I'd like to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
conversation. Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you all for listening to us, and have a good one. Bye.
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 Yeah, thank you.
Bye.